Audio on, video on, action. Okay, let's do another reaction on Eddie Panettiere's tragic death last week. But I'm making challenges what's being revealed now about domestic violence by ex-boyfriend against Hayden Panettiere. So it was, it was a domestic violence apparently, and she's saying that it's been exposed. So it has, because it's all evident, it's all in the files, it's all in the police reports, and Megan is now revealing and giving you more insight of what went behind the scenes with ex-boyfriend and what he did to her. So anyway, let's check it out.
You tell me, what specifically, was it the drugs? Would you guess that made her go back to this guy that she was getting mandated bodily protection from in May? Because here's what now, the couple things that are breaking about him. Brian Hickerson. He had, according to Hayden's mom, he had pawned Hayden's belongings. She said that she was shocked to find that Brian Hickerson, who filed for bankruptcy in 2022, had pawned some of Hayden's belongings, including a vintage guitar. The mother also claimed that Hayden Panettiere was shocked when she found out that her on-again, off-again boyfriend had some of her possessions in his storage unit. So obviously the implication is that he had stolen them from her.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. So why is anybody connecting the pieces here? Like, obviously he stole it, and he's stealing. Eventually, probably even stole money too. So when you have a crackhead who's your ex-boyfriend and she keeps coming back to him, whose fault is that? Hers, because she's coming back to him, and him because he's taking advantage of her. Putting two together, man, it's common sense.
And then on top of that, it was very interesting. This is page 6, doing the reporting there. Hold on a second. Where is it? Because the report was also that, or maybe this was the New York Times. Yeah, it was the New York Times in that lengthy piece on Sunday, reported that he, at some point, had been acting as Hayden's paid executive assistant.
Of course.
Further entangling the two. His LinkedIn profile describes him as an executive assistant for a high-profile, confidential client. And so he appears to have gone on her payroll. All of this, notwithstanding the fact that he beat her repeatedly. Oh, but he took domestic violence classes. So, I guess problem allegedly solved.
Well done here. We're done.
One more thing.
Some classes took care of it. Some reassignment. It's like, it all to me sounds like the communist sort of education camps. Yeah, great. Well
yes.
done.
No, it's like at Fox News. They made everybody take sexual harassment training. People went there for ideas. It was these classes are a joke. Yes. How do these courts think that that's going to change anything? I don't know. What would you mandate to a domestic abuser if you actually wanted him to break a pattern?
I remember I was talking to a guy who once pushed a woman through a door, and he was a good kid, and he thought, my God, something is wrong. I need help. I'm going in a direction. There's something wrong. And I was talking to him, and he said, he's had successful treatment. He had all kinds of trauma stuff and therapy and relational trauma, stuff, multiple kinds of therapeutics. And I said, well, how long have you been working at this? He goes, 5 years. And I feel like I'm a little better now. And I thought, oh my God, that's a kid that threw somebody through a door. Imagine these people that are so abusive and repetitive, push people through this cycle of abuse. And I'm going to have to explain what the cycle of abuse is so people know what it is. My treatment is you separate these people and you get mom into an environment, or get the woman into an environment where she can start to look at why she's addicted and why she can't get out of this cult of two. I call it a cult of two. The way it works is, oh no, I love you so much, then the jealousy, and then the irritability, and then the woman's walking on eggshells, and then he's triggered, he becomes violent. Then at the end of the violence, it's because I love you so much, and they have this idealized reuniting, and people fall for that, both men and women. It's because I love you so much that I'm so emotional. I can't control myself because my love for you is so amazing. This is BS, everybody. This is nonsense. This is the cycle of abuse. But this is how people get into this cult of two, this cycle where they have trouble pulling themselves out. Now, if they were also using buddies, which I don't know, maybe they're both doing drugs together, that adds to the addictive.
Certainly looks that way.
That adds the addictive, sticky quality to the relationship. And as I said, this is how it takes
if he wasn't using with her, why was he asleep at 1:50 in the afternoon 2 Sundays ago when they found her, when the brother came over and found them both passed out?
Right.
He was allegedly next to her in the pull-out sofa bed, and she was dead. I mean, I think if you're asleep at 2 in the afternoon next to a dead person, you probably have your own issues.
Yes.
And they had Narcan on them in the apartment, which was an Airbnb, so it wasn't even like, I think, the place that he normally lives. So he's clearly traveling with it. And he reportedly, Brian, the boyfriend, tried to administer it to her unsuccessfully. Listen to him talking about domestic violence and how he just needed some education, Drew.
My biggest thing about domestic violence is I don't think it is taught early enough in life. Never in my life did I ever get taught what domestic violence was, right? Maybe if I did at an early age, maybe I wouldn't have done what I did. We don't know. But it's one of those things you think about.
This is what musicians.
Yeah, that's pretty troubling the way he even said that. So he is definitely toxic. I don't know what in the hell is she doing with him, but hey, it's her fault as well too. But God rest her soul. I don't know, man. It's tough.
So,
all right, you got the training. To me, it's not about getting taught about DV. It's about anger management, emotional regulation, communication. What say you?
Years of work, and not just, oh, that's what that is. Okay, we're done here. It's literally like saying, somebody has schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, and it's like, we're teaching you what this thing is you have. Oh, okay, we'll see you later. No, then you treat it. The education is to get people to the point where they can acknowledge that they need treatment, that this is not okay, that it's pathological, it's dangerous, and something is up there. I don't know what's going on with him, but it would require a lot. And I just wonder if alcohol is involved, because and by the way, he also had that flavor of, oh, I was exposed to domestic violence my whole life. I just thought it was okay. Which does happen to people. I mean, but that is not. But I mean, thinking that
he didn't know it was domestic violence when he was punching her in the face. Well, I'm pretty sure he knew.
I would agree with you, but if he saw it in childhood, again, giving it a name doesn't mean you're not going to repeat that exactly what you were exposed to in childhood.
Mm-hmm. The reports of him attacking her continue to come out. We continue to learn more. This is a neighbor. This is at 26, and it was on Inside Edition last week. Listen to this. This is a neighbor of Hayden's.
Hayden Panettiere's neighbor is making shocking allegations about the troubled star's relationship with her boyfriend.
She was always such a bright light when she was by herself. When she was with Brian, she was so subdued and seemed almost like a different person.
Mia Terrazas says she called 911 a half a dozen times to report disturbances in Hayden's apartment in West Hollywood. Was there ever any instances where you thought there could be domestic violence going on?
Oh, absolutely. I saw her leaving on a gurney. Brian was right next to her, and I asked her if she was okay. And it looked to me that she, had suffered some type of trauma that, looked to be battering. And it was clear she was terrified.
Brian Hickerson was jailed for 45 days in 2021 for punching Hayden with his closed fist in the face and was banned from the apartment complex where Hayden lived. This image of Hickerson was posted on the property. Warning to all residents, if he is seen anywhere on this property, please call 911 immediately.
So I'm needing
consistent with what she was doing at the book signings.
I'm needing a bath. I feel so bad after all these topics we're getting into. This is like really tough material. But, in addition to the stickiness of the cycle of abuse and the cult of two that people get into, the women particularly, their personal resources and their sense of themselves get severely eroded in relationships like this. They really don't have the capacity to pull themselves out of it. They just keep sinking deeper and deeper. And then, if you're using substances on top of that, that's how they try to manage it. And of course, that only makes things worse.
So it sounds like, Drew, you would have said, like, if Hayden had come to you and said, how about I write a memoir and then I go on a book tour? I'm clean and sober now. I go on a book tour and I'm going to go on all these podcasts and all these TV shows to promote it and talk about all my trauma. You might have said to her, too soon.
I might have said too soon. If it had been less than 2 years of sobriety, I would have definitely said too soon. And then I would have said, what does your therapist say? What does your psychiatrist say? What does your sponsor say? Are we all in agreement that this is a good idea? If anyone dissents, you're going to wait it out until everyone decides this is okay for you. But
because there was a report that while she was out promoting her book, she was still drinking and still doing drugs, that she tried to order a boatload of alcohol and whippets to the hotel room, and the security caught it. And notwithstanding the fact, she was out there saying, I'm sober. Back in July of 2022, she was saying, I'm clean and sober. Here she is in 2022, SOT 25.
How are you today? I'm good. It's an everyday battle. It really is. I'm grateful to say that I'm sober today.
Sober and connecting on a whole new level with her 7-year-old daughter, Kaya.
I can only imagine one of the things you're most grateful for is your beautiful little girl.
That she is. She's my favorite little person.
But she would wind up agreeing to give the father custody, and so on. The downward spiral continued to the point where now, Drew, she reunites with this abuser.
Right.
He's next to her in this bed when she dies. Obviously, drugs were involved. I mean, we'll wait for the toxicology. Thanks for watching.
All right, that was Megyn Kelly. So obviously, Megyn Kelly's joining with Dr. Drew and discussing a disturbing case of domestic violence against Hayden's ex-boyfriend, and her death. And her ex-boyfriend is at fault. Put two together, it doesn't take a genius to figure out who did it, who's at fault, why did he do it, and why did it happen. And it's common sense there, ladies and gentlemen. Read between the lines. If that person is toxic to you, guys and girls, and if you keep beating and you keep doing and you're trying to get clean and sober, you'll never get to the promised land. You'll never be successful. What you aim for is to have peace and serenity in your life without all the toxicity from that other person who's trying to bring you down to the underground. I have so many friends that were in that type of relationship. A couple passed away because of it. That was my life story. My friends experienced it and battled it. I myself, thank God, to go to that extreme, but was in a very toxic relationship as well too. More than once, but it just balls effect. It's like you miss a significant other because you miss doing what you used to do, right? So whether it's doing this and that, or in the bed, or on the dance floor, and the music, blah, 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 or on stage, you miss it because it was great at that time, but it's toxic for you. Oh my God, it's that adrenaline rush. It's that adrenaline hit. It's that sex appeal. It's that drive. It's that connection. It's that magnetic animal instinct that you think that you'll never find again, but in due time you will. It just takes time, and once you figure it out to your faith, and thank God I have faith, always rely and ask for help, and He will guide you the way. Amen. Bye for now. See you in the next one, guys.